this was supposed to be it was a 12-point spread in this game. It felt like it early on. Eagles get up 20-3, but the Eagles kept letting the Giants back in, or the Giants kept creeping back in, however you want to say it. Boston Scott, sorry. Both of our guys muffing kickoffs here, man, or fumbling kickoffs.
Hey, no. Not Boston's fault. He had his own player run into him.
Nope, that's his fumble. He did have his own player run into him. Set the Giants up at the 14-yard line.
Did you see like the start of it? Because obviously, like, your own player running directly into you, facing you as a kick returner is generally not what's supposed to happen.
It's not how you draw it up.
Right. So, and it's so unusual, for example, that you tend to say, I wonder what happened to cause that. You know, that's not something that just happens. How did that materialize? What was the source? What was the origin of that disaster? And when you see it, Isaiah Simmons on the kick coverage team takes his guy and like launches him forwards, right? To the point where it discombobulated him so much that he like span around 360. And then as he's gathering his own balance, once he like recovers himself, he's like right in front of Boston Scott, who just
That's
runs
the play.
into him.
That's what I would do.
So Isaiah Simmons like grabs his guy, tosses him towards the kick returner, forces the fumble, and then scoops it up and gets the recovery as well. Like, huge special teams play from Isaiah Simmons.
And that's how you should do it.
Just toss your
Throw guys into the returner
Yeah.
every single time. That set the Giants up for, they had a 3-play, 14-yard drive. That's all they needed to score. And then, so it's 20-10, and then Jalen Hurts pass, Dallas Goedert slips, goes to a Dory Jackson for a 76-yard pick six. So a game where the Eagles, should win handily. Tommy DeVito's been benched and the whole thing. It goes from 20-3 to 20-18 pretty quickly here. And every time the Eagles kept, building a lead, boom, Tyrod Taylor in relief hits Darius Slayton for a 69-yarder. So the Eagles kept, however you want to view it, letting the Giants back in or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it went down to the wire in this one.
Yeah, and even like literally the last play, that was kind of reminiscent of that crazy Virginia Tech Stanford play that Tyrod Taylor, that was a play that made me fall in love with Tyrod Taylor as a quarterback. This kind of looked a little bit like it. He's dancing around back there. He's waiting, trying to find a guy. And then instead of finding his own receiver in the back of the end zone, he found an eagle instead. That was less of an exciting finish, at least from his perspective.
Yeah. But I thought they
he did, though. I mean, this is
it came down to the very last play, down 8.
Right. This is the second time this season where Tyrod Taylor has come in and looked better than the guy he replaced.
Yeah.
For the Giants. Like, every time he's been on the field for the team, he has improved the situation.
It's we love to do the A/B analysis and those data points, right? Because Tommy DeVito came in and looked better than Tyrod and Daniel Jones for a stretch of play.
Yeah.
And you're right, Tyrod came in and looked better than Daniel Jones. They didn't put up a ton of points in those first couple games, but Tyrod looked better than Daniel Jones. And it's not like Daniel Jones has been a disaster for the Giants. He was good last year. He led a playoff team and played pretty well. So it is this weird balance of the Brian Daboll's gotten good play. He's gotten like stretches of decent play out of 3 different quarterbacks. Nothing great, but stretches of decent play. And you're right, Tyrod, in this game at least, elevated the offense a little bit. Mm-hmm. I thought the Eagles' offense looked a lot better. The word sleepwalking that I keep using for them. It was just a better balanced game, I thought, from the Eagles. Devontae Smith had that long 36-yard touchdown. A.J. Brown had a couple big plays. Jalen Hurts, I thought, overall threw the ball well. Again, the interception was a slip.
Yeah.
The previous play, I think it was Giants defender got their hands on the ball, but it was full extension. I don't even think that was turnover worthy or like capable of even being intercepted. I thought Hurts threw the ball well. Dallas Goedert got involved. Devontae, A.J. Brown. It was a much better all-around Eagles effort.
Yeah, it was still a little bit labored, but it felt like they had the offense when they needed it.
Yeah.
Like every time the Giants kind of pull their way back into the game and Philadelphia's like, oh, it's gotten close again, and then the Eagles would have a drive and remind you.
Is that what they do? Is that what feels so uncomfortable about the Eagles?
It's what they have done sometimes, but I think a lot of the season it's just been bad. But This was a game where there was a difference. Like they had it when they actually had big drives that they needed to get it done, and it was just other times where it looked a little bit iffy. But you take that pick six out of this game, and actually it would look like a pretty clean Eagles performance. Like
I mean, both of those. It was a 14-play touchdown drive and a pick six.
Yeah.
For the Giants that really got them back into the game here. I don't have much else on this one. Anything else on this one?
No, not really. Other than the Cutlets thing is probably Hassan Reddick was great in this game actually, but yeah, the Cutlets maybe the end of Cutlets.
That could be it. That's why
a wild ride. That genuine people compared that to Linsanity, the Jeremy Lin thing, where
finishing in a similar manner,
right? And similar period of time, right? It's like this was really fun for a few weeks, and then that's it. No more of that. Bye bye.
So Tommy's gonna be coaching in a couple of years.
Somebody was it? I forget. There was a bunch of tweets about it. Obviously, somebody was saying not coaching. Tommy's going to be like owning a car dealership in Jersey somewhere in a couple of weeks.
Oh, it's going to be a cutlet shop.
And look, fair play to Tommy.
You got to keep going. There's still a little momentum, right? Ride the back of it. You got Tommy's Cutlets.
There were people trying to be like, well, you see, the real reason he got benched is he spent the last couple of weeks brand building instead of focused on the football. Come on.
I mean, chances are he was just going to regress back into Tommy DeVito, who is a mid-tier Big Ten quarterback.
It's like earlier we were saying, like there's never been more quarterbacks that can go out there and play 2 or 3 games looking pretty useful, but then eventually the wheels are going to fall off.
All right, so what does it mean? Goes back to what does it mean? Let's start with the Giants. They're currently picking 5th. They're the highest picking of the 5 and 10 teams, Giants, Chargers, and Titans, according to Tankathon. I've seen that other ways too, where the Titans are picking 5th. We'll sort all that stuff out. Either way, they're in the top 7.
I believe Tankathon has the correct tiebreaker things.
Well, the person I saw post the Titans at 5 is Field Yates.
Ooh.
And Fields is one of those guys. Good tweeter. Very good tweeter. Very positive. Knows how to get the interaction. So if you want to question Field.
Well, he's an ESPN man, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not directly questioning ESPN, but I am saying that their playoff predicting machine doesn't even work right now. So,
well, they did say the Celtics had a 97% chance to beat the Heat.
That too.
Last year. So.
There's some questionable numbers that come from.
I've got some friends over at ESPN Analytics. Again, I don't want to call them out. I'm just saying I've seen some numbers before. And for the Eagles, again, they're sitting there atop the NFC in that 3-way tie, 11-4s, currently the number 2 seed. The Niners' loss opens up some opportunity here for the Eagles. If the Niners slip up one more time, there's still a chance that the Eagles get the bye. And the Eagles have to play the Cardinals and then the Giants again these next couple weeks. So there should be that path to 13-4. See what happens with the Niners and the Lions, the other 2 11-4 teams. And a game up on Dallas in the East for the Eagles. So they can clinch next week with some stuff.